Welcome friends in geological knowledge. So in the previous video we have discussed about some basic questions related to the geological work of streams, or better known as rivers. And in this current video we will discuss some basic questions which are related to the geological work of sea or the ocean. Okay, so let's start our discussion, and it's important for you to understand the basic of each and every topic. And in the sequence of that series we will discuss some work of she basic questions. Okay, so first one is the gently sloping land part that remains partly submerged under seawater. What is known that? So there are key terms. I have told you in the previous video that you have to remember the keywords from where you can identify the option or the right answer from the given options. So keywords being the gently sloping land part which remains partly submerged under the seawater, means partly submerged under the seawater and partly towards the land or the terrestrial side. So what is that? Continental shelf, continental bench, beach, or the continental slope. So we all know that is continental shelf. Okay, and if we talk about self means side, means self को हिंदी में किनारा कहते हैं. तो किनारा मतलब towards the which joins the land as well as the ocean. Okay, so partly in touch with the terrestrial part means the land, and partly in the contact with the oceanic part. So that is known as continental shelf. Is the gently sloping land part that remains partly submerged under seawater. It may be only a narrow strip or quite an extensive area stretching for hundreds of kilometers. Okay, so this was one the basic question about that, but we must understand other terms related to it. Okay, so there is a curve known as hypsographic curve which deals with the depth zones of the ocean or the depth zone of sea. So if we talk about the profile of the sea floor from coast up to the deep sea has been divided into four zones, importantly significant four zones. The first one is littoral zone, which is also known as the shore zone. So this zone includes the area between the levels of the high tide and the low tide. And second one is the continental shelf, which is the gently sloping submerged platform that extends from an edge of the continent to a depth of about 200 meters. Okay, and the third one is continental slope, which lies between the continental shelf and the deep sea or the deep sea zone. So the depth of water varies from 200 meters to 900 or 1 kilometer range. And the remaining part means towards the after the continental slope region, what is known as the deep sea zone. So that includes the deep sea floor, which lie at a depth of about 4000 meters or 4 kilometers. The deep sea zones contain very fine sediment of inorganic and inorganic origin, okay, which are known as ooze, especially the radiolarian ooze, foraminifer ooze, or the diatom ooze, and the red clays are the important type of deep sea deposits. Okay, so this was the basic of the depth zone of the sea, and it's very important to remember their sequence as well as their considerable depth from where they start and from where they end. Okay, second one is the slope starting from the farthest end of the continental shelf and continuing up to the sea floor is known as continental belt, continental bench, continental slope, or the beach. So we have discussed it, that is the continental slope. So is the slope that start from the farthest end of the continental shelf and continuing up to the sea floor. So it may be gently or very steep gradient, steep in gradient, varying between 1 to 4, 1 in 4 to 1 in 6. Okay, continental slope region, that one is the right answer is the option D, continental slope. Next one is the type of waves that are characteristic of deeper portion of the sea. Okay, what are those waves? Oscillatory waves, translatory waves, littoral waves, or the lateral waves. So these are known as oscillatory waves. So oscillatory waves are characteristic of the deeper portion of the sea. In such wave, each particle moves in a circular orbit. Okay. That is known as oscillatory waves. Fourth one is the type of wave that are characteristic of shallower portion of the sea. Type of wave that is characteristic of the shallower portion of the sea. What is that wave known as? Oscillatory waves, translatory waves, littoral waves, or the lateral waves. So these are known as translatory waves. So they are typically of shallower depth in the sea and around abound along the seashore. So what are translatory waves? They are typically of the shallower region, shallower depth in the sea and abounded along the seashore. So they are commonly produced after the oscillatory waves break and rush forward. When the oscillatory waves break, so they rush forward and they form the translatory waves. Okay. So option B, that is translatory waves, is the correct answer. Fifth one is bodies of seawater of considerable volume moving along and parallel to the seashore. What are they called? Oscillatory waves, littoral waves, littoral currents, translatory waves, or the lateral currents. So these are known as littoral currents. So in the first question, when we were talking about the zones, we have talked about the littoral portion, littoral zone. So that is the littoral zone is also known as shore zone. Okay, because it's the part of both the land and terrestrial part. So littoral currents are the bodies of seawater of considerable volume moving along and parallel to the shore or seashore. So option C, that is the littoral currents, they are the correct answer. Next one is the bodies of seawater moving backwards to sea after having reached and struck the seashore are called as. Okay, what are they called? Oscillatory waves, translatory waves, littoral currents, or the rip currents. So those are known as rip currents. Okay, so what are rip currents? So these are the bodies of seawater which move backwards to sea after having reached and struck the seashore. So they often move below the surface of the sea and reach varying distance up to middle to the ocean or the sea. So rip currents, they often move below the surface of the sea and reach varying distance up to the middle of the sea. So the correct answer here is the option D, rip currents. Okay, so key terms are the bodies of seawater moving backwards to the sea after having reached and struck to the seashore. Okay, seventh one is Charles Darwin classified coral reefs into how many classes? And this is very important topic related to coral reefs. So Charles Darwin has classified reef into three zones. Uh, into how many classes? Three classes. Okay. What are those three classes? So those are fringing reef, barrier reef, and the atoll. Okay. So Charles Darwin, who was the first to study and classify the reef deposits, recognized the following three zones: fringing, barrier, and atoll. Okay. So it's very important topic, coral reef. We will discuss it in another video. In a fresh video, we will discuss this important topic, coral reef. There are so many factors about coral reefs, their formation, their types of coral reefs, their origin, means how they have originated, and their sequence. So this coral reefs, they are classified in a sequential manner Firstly, fringing reefs form, then the barrier reef, and when they enclose the island, they are known as atolls. Okay, so we will discuss it in another video. It's very important for you to understand the process of coral reef formation. Okay, so as this particular question is concerned, the Charles Darwin classified coral reefs in the three types: fringing, barrier, as well as atoll. Peculiar type of ridge-like marine deposits that have been formed due to the accumulation of dead parts of certain of sea organisms. What are they called? Okay, means peculiar type of ridge-like marine deposits. They have been formed due to the accumulation of dead parts of certain sea organism. What are they called? Limestone, coral reefs, pearl, or the gorges. So we all know that is the coral reefs. So coral reefs are the peculiar type of ridge-like marine deposits which have been formed due to the accumulation of dead parts of certain sea organisms. Okay, so they can be termed as coral reefs or the island-like structure which are found on the ocean, into the ocean. They are built by corals and many other lime-secreting marine organisms. Okay, under the tropical and subtropical climate. So when we will discuss it in detail, we will discuss about their conditions of the formation, that what are the key factors and what are the requirements for coral reefs to form. Okay, so this question, particular question is concerned, so that is the correct answer is the coral reef. Okay, which are the lime secreting organic material under the tropical and subtropical climatic conditions. Next one is the type of reefs that occur from a distance of shore and have flat topped ridges. Type of reefs that occur from a distance of shore means shore से distance at some distance from the shore and have flat topped ridges. What are they called? Fringing reef, barrier reef, atoll, or the deposited reef. So they are known as barrier reef. Okay, as I have discussed in the previous slide that it's very important topic to remember that their sequence of formation. Firstly, the fringing reefs are formed, and then the barrier reef. So barrier reef are built away from the islands, so that is given here na, from a distance of shore. So they are built away from the seashore, from the island, and therefore they enclose a lagoon between the central landmass and the themselves. Okay, so the Great Barrier Reef along the northeast coast of Australia is the famous and best example of barrier reef. The Great Barrier Reef in the northeast coast of Australia. So the barrier reef are the most common type of reefs and occur at a distance from the shore or the island, running in the form of parallel to flat topped ridges. Okay, so that is the barrier reef. Next one is type of reef with an annular, circular, or the semicircular coral reef surrounding a lagoon is known as fringing reef, barrier reef, atoll, or the deposited reef. So these are the atolls. Okay, so atoll is a circular reef, the central portion of which is occupied by a relatively shallow lagoon. Okay, that's a circular reef. Okay, whose central portion is occupied by a relatively shallow lagoon. Okay, so that is the atoll. So an atoll is essentially an annular or circular or semicircular coral reef surrounding a central body of water that is usually called the lagoon. And in a typical atoll, the ring made of coral deposit may be continuous or discontinuous, more oftenly broken at places. Okay, so that is atoll. So this was our basic discussion about the geological work of ocean or the sea. I know that all the topics, all the questions related to this topic is or not covered, but this was only basic overview. And when we will talk about The descriptive part are the formation of coral reefs or the process of deposition by the sea or the process of transportation, erosion by the sea. So we will discuss all these terms in a detailed manner. Okay, thank you.